from this to this. Hello, I hope you're going to follow my adventure to do it for the first time to cut the cuff. Anything in the round. You could probably do that with a sleeve, and I did that with the socks, color work socks, so that will be fun. A few things over here that will surprise even me, so enjoy watching to achieve this result. Do you like it? Is it different? Do you see any difference? I hope you're going to enjoy watching it, have fun with it. Before you even start, maybe watch it first. It is definitely for some advanced knitters, for knitters who recognize the stitch, knows how to count the rounds, knows how the drop stitch looks like, and definitely did at least once afterthought heel. I hope you're going to enjoy this, and thank you so much for watching the ads. I'm going to show you how to extend sock, either be foot or either be leg. In my situation is leg. And to do that, I need 2 sets of circular knitting needles, because the idea is pick up the stitches below and above, and because I have color work, I'll try to do it where I don't have color work, then cut. And it's quite similar technique when you do afterthought heel, maybe on the screen over here, in the eye and below. I'm going to put a link down below how I do it, how I do afterthought heel. And then when I knit number of rounds, leaving 1 round off, because that will be the round that I will be doing a long Kitchener stitch around the cuff. So the same way as we finish afterthought heel. So basically, if you've done afterthought heel before, you can do this too. Because this is a color work sock, I can definitely easy specify where is the beginning of the round, because we have those uneven sections of it here. I have marked it, and for the bottom, because I was knitting this sock toe up, and that the way I'm going to continue knitting to extend this section, I'm going to use the needles that I actually used. And just in case you don't have any other ones, you can use whatever fits through the loop of your stitch. So I'm going to use these ones on the top, and I have noticed I will have to go through the color work to do that, but that's basically the same thing as picking up. There's no changes over here. So let's do that. As you can see, I have 1 done. Obviously, I'm nervous. I hope I'm having the same round, because something similar happened to me when I was doing afterthought heel. I was rushing and I recorded tutorial how I fixed that, just in case when the certain number of stitches were slightly lower than they should be in the round. So if you're interested how I fixed that issue, check that later on. I'm going to put the link down below too. So now, hopefully, finger crossed, that's done. So yeah, a tip, just when I did ish half of the stitches, I just pull the needle to create this kind of loop, and I picked up another one, because this time it's not just half of the stitches, it's the whole stitches. Let's do another round. I'll try to do it just below the color work. So I have it done. I have a picked up round on the top and in the bottom. And then now where I'm going to cut. So I'm going to cut. Before you cut anything in knitting, always think, where is the beginning of the round? So for me, it would be over here, and I want to have some end to weave in later on. So obviously if I cut over here, I will not have anything. So I have to go farther away from this point. So when I unravel, I will have this piece and this piece to weave in. So in this case, because it's fully in the round, I'm going to maybe this leg. So I'm cutting the leg above the picked stitches, and obviously you may have even a longer section over here, I don't know. Okay, are you ready? Let's do this. Chopped. Woohoo! Now I'm going to unravel it. I'm going to use one of the knitting needles. I'll see you then. Well, let's do a few so you know how it's done. So this is how I do it. I know it's a grey yarn, so hopefully you can see it. So better to put the hand in and that way unravel it. And now I'm unraveling, and I can see that I have some stitches over here So don't panic, just grab another set of knitting needles and try to pick them up while you're doing them. That's what I'm going to do. Just to show you, hopefully you can see them. Maybe I'll point them up to you. See this? So I'm pointing up to you. I can see stitches, live stitches up here. So I'm going to pick them up. So I picked them up, just a few, on this 2.75 needle, so bigger than the one that I use, but that's what I have around. So I'm not going to continue. I'm going to see what happens when I'll be doing this way, because as you can see, I have a loop over here, and over here I don't. So in case that happens, I can literally pull the needle and put the actual tip through the stitches and kind of fix them that way. So we shall see how it goes. Maybe you want to see it, right? Just be careful with the needles, so mind yourself, because they're flying around. So let's see. I know, at this point you have to be an advanced knitter a little bit. So as you can see, this stitch stayed on this needle, but if I pull, I'll show you. If I pull this yarn through, you can notice that this stitch will be loose. So what I'm going to do, so I pulled it back. I have this one just in case what's happening while I'm unraveling. So I'm standing up just to let you know. So here is, I know it's a grey, I'm so sorry about that, but that's what happened on this sock. So as you can see, this is the yarn and it's going through some loop over here, and that loop is a stitch. So I'm going to grab it. I'm following in that direction the yarn that I'm pulling. Off you go. And because I'm not sure if that stitch is actually below this one, I'm going to put it on the needle and just double check how things are going. So I know what's going on over here, you'll say. Okay, yes, I'm fine, because I'm looking at the V's, and as you can see, another V goes up to here. So you know now pink is above, below is the blue needle, so I'm going to transfer it to this. So like that. It got messy. No worries. I can do it with this one. So you can see I have a stitch on the needle. There is another row, and there is another stitch. And if I pull it, this is the stitch that I will be removing. This is the stitch I'll be removing, and this one needs to be picked up. So what I'll do, I actually will take this needle, and before unraveling anything, so what I'll be doing, before I do anything, I will just pick up the right leg of the round above my needle, and it gets tight so I can actually release that much and then continue. I'll be back when I finish. So I slowly was picking up, I don't know, 5 stitches and removing the needle, and as you can see, I reached the point that I don't have any more. So that means this is the end. I'm just pulling through. Get a little bit loop over here. Let's see what happens when I continue for safety, just to pull it so it won't come off. Just to remove it, and if I finish over here, I'll come back to you. But wait a sec for a bit, because this is quite a long end, and over here is a little tiny bit. I want a little bit more, so I need to unravel from this side, even though I really, really would want to do that from this. So let's see what happens. Now this is fun, because when I'm pulling over here, I will need to pick up stitches over here. No worries, we'll get there. Hopefully you're an advanced knitter and you understand what's happening over here. For beginners, complete mess. I think I'm going to continue with the wooden needle and see what will be happening. I will be picking up stitches below with this, so we'll be going back again to some point that I may be over here when I'll be happy with the length of the end, and I'll get back to you. So I'm going ahead and I'm picking up 3 stitches above this, and I'm going with the wooden and picking up below it, because it looks like I'm unraveling the stitches actually on the blue cable. So that's what I'm doing. Hopefully that gives you some idea. I'm getting there. It is slowly because I'm unraveling, picking, and so on, but I'm thinking I'm happy with this side. So it was way easier on this, and eventually I will get to the point where those two parts will separate. And just where will that be? We shall see. Yay! So as you can see, I'm only connected by the color work. So let's see what I can do with that. So first things first, let's tidy up. You can see that this has one set of needles. I can kind of pull it. And over here, I'm going to use this needle and I'm just going to place it and then place stitches on the needle and then from the wooden needle, and I come back with the pink one and put it back. I'm putting everything that I'm seeing on that needle the way it is. I can take this one and now I will go back and put it back. I have a dilemma because if I cut it in the middle, it's very short. So what to do? Well, I'm going to risk it and I'm going to cut it in the middle. Is it here? Let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Oh. So yeah, that's only the thing that I haven't thought through in regards to color work. Okay, so this is the part I'm going to leave it on the side, and this is the part that I will be knitting the extra length that I was missing. Probably I will connect a knot to make a knot over here. Right, so we're going to make a loop above like this, over, and once through. And now if I go around 1 and maybe 2, now grab the end, grab another end, and see if I can pull it through. Now it works. Lovely. Okay, I do have a knot, but I will have a long sock. And now I'm just going to continue knitting and I'll go back to you when I'll be joining both things together. Wish me luck. And now before I start actually knitting, I need to see where my yarn is. And if it's not where it should be when I specify the beginning of the round, I will have to go back over here. If that's long enough, I can actually use a bit of it just to make sure that you have enough to weave in ends, and then add a new yarn and then continue knitting. So I can start now when the end is over here. What I need to do, I need to slip all those stitches over here. This is 56 stitch sock, so I need 28 on the one side. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and I'm missing 1. Now I have 28 on one. Okay, so I'm knitting and I have obviously color work over here. So what I need to pay attention to before I stop, I need to set up this piece the way I want to have it. So the only Kitchener round that I'll do will be in the grey color. So that's what I'm going to do. Basically find the beginning of the round and go, in my case, 28 stitches this way, 20 stitches this way, and basically I have a little bit more over here at some point, so I will be unraveling some. If I didn't have enough, then probably I will have to add yarn to fill those gaps. I hope you know what I mean. So here it is, looks like a mess. I have just a few stitches on here and loads of over here, and I'm going to fix it up. So like previously, my end was somewhere in the between, so I put it where the beginning of the round is. It's just what I need to do, I need to divide it evenly. I have it over here, 28, 28, so I have 28, 28, and then we'll be doing Kitchener stitch. Okay, I have done it, and all those ends I just put on my fingers and I'm going to tuck it in here so they will not be on the way. Right, so I'm ready to join these two together. The only worry I have while I'll be doing this, that I may have twisted stitches over here. So the first three things that I'm going to do, I'm going to double check that what I'm doing is the right way to do. If not, I will have to switch the position of the stitches on the needle over here. And to do that, you know, we'll play with the needles and stuff. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. But we need tapestry needle. Normally for tubular bind off for my socks, I will use 5 rounds around my hand because that will be equivalent of a sock. Let's go a little bit, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what, let's go maybe 2 more. I don't want to have any more interesting adventures in knitting in this tutorial. So put the needle through and I'm ready to play. So basically I'll just pull the one behind and grab those two together and pretend that this is the end of the heel now. So hopefully, finger crossed, everything goes well. So make sure that nothing is tangled, that you have this yarn over here. So just do this and then you're ready, because otherwise if it tangles around you, you know, you won't be happy then. Add in Kitchener stitch. I'm counting that this is a knit. Inside over here is a purl. So every time I'll be taking off the stitch and putting the yarn for the second, always initiate putting the tapestry needle the way the knitting would go over here. So the knitting would go as to knit. So I'm taking the stitch as if to knit, and then as if to purl, I'm just putting the needle through just to get it tight with this. And now the second is the purl, so as if to purl and take it off, and then pull the needle through as if to knit. And okay, one more time, as if to knit off, purl in, and now on the second, as if to purl, take off, as if to knit, stay in. Okay, I'm going to, because I'm standing now, it's very difficult to do, I'm going to do it off the camera and come back. The only thing also over here is the tension of this round. It has, you know, we try to make it the same height, not to pull it too tight. So I'll see if I can do it all, and if there is an issue because of the stitches, I'll go back to you. I'm slowly there, and as you can see, it's working quite well. I think maybe they're too loose because I'm afraid to pull it too tight, but you know what, that's fine. So I have the last two, and I need to pull it through to continue it on the other side. I know it looks messy, but it's going to work out pretty well. Yeah, so once you pull it, you have the same situation, and you just continue doing Kitchener stitch. As you can see, it's done. This sock is not blocked, so that means that I didn't put it like this one into the bowl, the stitches stretched and so on. So probably it will look better than it is now, but there is one thing you probably will notice when you finish all that. We have a hole on the side. So hopefully you can see it upside down, so I'm not really happy about it. Okay, hopefully you'll be able to see. I will be just pushing this through the stitches like that. Maybe if I do this. Yeah, that looks better. So on the same side, don't crisscross. I'm just trying to see what I'm doing. I know this is not good for you to know, but just play with whatever looks good on the hole. So I would just do everything behind the V stitches, then it won't be so visible. That's my tip. And just poke it through. Is it better? Hopefully it is better. I still need to wave in ends, but I'll leave it. You probably know how to do it. And do some stretches. And it's done. Not bad. It will definitely stretch up a little bit with blocking, so I would not worry about that. I'm happy that it's now the same length. I hope you enjoyed this one. See you next one. Bye. Oh, and this is my pattern, so check the links down below.